watching Spectrum News 1. It's 8 o'clock.
Your evening on Spectrum News 1 begins with severe weather across the Buckeye State, bringing heavy winds, lots of rain, and even some golf ball-sized hail to parts of Ohio. This is video that you're seeing from Willoughby, where that rain came pouring down in the early hours of the evening. The storm starting in the northwest part of the state and working their way towards the southwest. Hello, everyone, and thank you for staying with us here on Spectrum News 1. I'm Curtis Jackson.
I'm Mary Lee Melendez. The reports also coming in from western Ohio, where officials in Van Wert County say tree limbs are down all across the area.
Chief Meteorologist Eric Elwell joining us now with more on what you need to know.
Well, guys, we continue to keep a very close eye on these thunderstorms. In fact, we have new warnings that have just come out, including the Columbus metro area. So now Columbus getting under the gun. We have seen it Cleveland through Toledo, back through the Dayton area is what we've been watching. I want to show you what we're dealing with. We'll take you live here, and you can see some of our camera vantage point. You see some lightning there striking near downtown Akron, and that's where some of these thunderstorms are arriving right now. Just come through the Cleveland area, where just a little while ago we could not see the city of Cleveland, but now we could see it. Columbus beginning to darken up. And as I mentioned, now Columbus has gone under a severe thunderstorm warning. And now we have a tornado warning, guys. We do have a tornado warning that has just come out. It has been issued here for Champaign, Logan, and Union County. We were just watching this cell, and so we are going to go and talk about this new warning, a new tornado warning that has just come across. We'll take you into central Ohio, and I'll go right over to live storm track Doppler radar as this tornado warning is coming out, again, for Logan, Champaign County. And this particular cell, again, capable of producing a tornado. It looks like it's pretty close to just west of Marysville right now near Woodstock. That is where this storm is. We were watching this just a little bit ago, and it was showing signs of rotation. In fact, you've been with us at the last half hour. We were closely monitoring this thunderstorm as it pushed off to the east. I want to go and show you the velocity on this, because this one, again, beginning to pick up that rotation. And if you look pretty closely here, we can see just northwest of Woodstock, that is where the rotation is right now, located right here. Again, that's where we believe a tornado is developing or may have developed. National Weather Service issuing that tornado warning. Looks like it is going to go here until 8:30. The National Weather Service indicating that possible tornado was near North Lewisburg, moving to the east at 25 miles per hour. So that's going to push it from Woodstock to Milford Center and likely very close to Marysville. Again, you can see the red outline here. That is where the tornado warning is. This is where we believe the tornado is right now, very close to Woodstock. So with that, I want to go and read some of the information that we're getting in here from the National Weather Service. Again, they do tell us that they believe that this thunderstorm is capable of producing a tornado. It is radar indicated at this point, and the cell is moving off to the east at about 25 miles per hour. Again, it will approach Marysville, North Lewisburg, Milford Center, Woodstock, Unionville Center, Cable, Mingo, Pottersburg, and Kenward as it pushes off to the east. Again, the radar indicated storm here, according to the National Weather Service. They are also telling us that there could be up to 1-inch hail with this cell as it pushes off to the east as well. So again, that is a big concern over the next few minutes, is how that develops and how that continues to push off eastward as it tracks very close into Union County and eventually could head over toward Delaware County here over the next little while. So again, a new tornado warning, and you can see the new sweep there clearly showing that we do have some rotation there. We'll get back to that cell here in just a moment. I do want to take you back into the Cleveland metro area. We're still monitoring lines of storms there and intense wind gusts. In fact, the wind has now picked up. We've got a lot going on, but the wind has really picked up here north of Akron, between Akron and Richfield. Now radar indicating winds approaching 60 to 65 miles per hour between Twinsburg, Shalersville, and Stowe. That is, again, a straight line wind threat there. But it still could produce the type of damage that we could see with a weak tornado as it pushes toward Ravenna and toward the Akron area. So I just wanted to pass along that as well. You can see this line continuing to track quickly off here to the southeast and all the way down to Shelby. But here's where we pick up the warnings in that tornado warning. And again, that is includes the Marysville area. Severe thunderstorm warnings, by the way, have been issued for Union County, east of where the tornado warning is, and severe thunderstorm warning is out for Delaware County now and northwestern Franklin County. That does include the Dublin area, Ostrander, Delaware, where the Columbus Zoo is, back toward just south of Richwood. The tornado threat at the moment is very close, just west of Marysville right now, near the community of Woodstock, we believe. And if you look here on the radar, you can almost see that hook shape to it. That is where the rotation is the most clear at the moment, and it looks to be taking aim right at Milford Center right now. If you are in this area, you need to go to the basement, and no basement's available. You want to go to a center interior room on the lowest floor of whatever building that you are in. If you're in an apartment complex, you just want to go to the lowest floor, get yourself with as many walls between you and the outside as possible, because this definitely is showing sign that it could be a tornado developing here as it pushes off here to the east. So again, the tornado warning that is out, and I just want to highlight this for you. The tornado warning does include Champaign, Logan, and Union County. Champaign, Logan, and Union County tornado warning here until 8:30. Again, that does include Marysville and Union Center, where this cell is moving. We have severe thunderstorm warnings that are surrounding that as well, as you can see, all the way back into Delaware and then stretching all the way back westward as you get toward Piqua. In fact, there's another thunderstorm that has us a little bit suspicious back that's been really between the Piqua area right here, moving northeast of Troy. And this is coming into western Champaign County. Almost has a little bit of a hook shape to that. We don't see the rotation all the way with that, but certainly signs that could be starting to rotate. But right now, the most clear rotation that we see on radar is located right here. And I just want to go back over and we'll look at some of the velocity products on that. Let me go over here and turn that on. But again, that cell is headed close to Marysville here over the next 20 to 30 minutes. In fact, we'll put a storm track on that here in just a moment as that tracks off here to the east. Let me clear this real quick, and we'll get that storm track placed for you. I want to stop the radar to get the most recent frame, and let's go off to the east, and that is, again, pushing here. So Woodstock pretty much arriving now. Milford Center about 13 minutes away, and Marysville and about 23 minutes away, according to the way this is tracking. Again, the eastward motion with this is about 25 miles per hour. That's the speed that we've got in here. But again, Champaign County, eastern Champaign County, and then into western Union County, that is where that tornado warning is. And this is headed, it looks like very close to Marysville here in the next 20 to 23 minutes. If that holds together, it would eventually move toward Delaware County. However, Delaware County not under the tornado warning at this point, but it is something we're going to be watching closely as we get into a more significant and populated, or certainly a more populated area. But this cell is a part of a cluster of thunderstorms, and I want to go back over to the velocity. That's what I was originally going to show you before I got that new information in. But the most significant velocity that we have that shows that tornado is located right here, and you can see Woodstock right in the middle of your screen, and just to the north of that, just to the north of Woodstock here, where 296 meets up, and this cell heads off to the east, but this is where that rotation is. You see red next to green, that's where that is. And if you look at this as it heads eastward, this is going to approach Milford Center. It may move just between Marysville and Milford Center, but if you're in Marysville, take shelter. Milford Center, take shelter. You need to be in your shelter now, because this is going to move fairly quickly off to the east and head over and move down along Route 33 here over the next 20 to 30 minutes. So that's what we're watching closely. The National Weather Service continuing the tornado warning here for Union, Champaign counties, as well as farther to the east as well here for the next 20 minutes. It goes until 8:30, according to the National Weather Service here. So I'm looking at that. I'm also looking back here to the west with some of these other cells. I don't see as significant a rotation. However, I do want to change which radar source I'm looking at, because I want to look at it from the terminal Doppler here that is back here. You see the radar kind of change color. I don't see the rotation back here near St. Paris that I saw earlier. That was between Piqua and St. Paris. I do see west of Sydney here, south of Fort Laramie and north of Newberry. I'll circle this. But this is where we see some pretty intense wind right now. Right along the, it looks like it's along the Shelby-Miami County line, probably just in southern Shelby County at this point. That is headed off to the east again. So we'll watch that. I don't see as much rotation back here as I saw just a little bit ago, but I do see it where we do have the tornado warning. That is out here, and that is here near the Woodstock area. And I'll go back over to my velocity that we were tracking with. And I'm going to look at a couple of different areas. Let's see a terminal Doppler in Columbus. Let's see if that's on the edge of that. It's still showing up here as well. So again, we're near Woodstock, just north of Woodstock here. It looks like right where 245 meets up with 559 is where the rotation is at this moment. And again, I'll circle this where this is. I know I'm zoomed in here pretty tight, but again, we're on the Union County, Champaign County line, just in the southeastern clip of Logan County. That is where we have at least some rotation, or at least the rotation for this possible tornado showing up on radar. Just looking at the other information that's coming in across the wire here, and so far, this is just radar indicated at the moment. We don't have any spotters on it at this point, but that could change at any moment. Very dangerous cell coming in here. Again, the tornado warning is out, and that's if you're in Marysville, if you're in Milford Center, you certainly want to be in your storm shelter at this time. Lowest, the basement's where you want to be. No basements available. You want to go to a center interior room of whatever building that you are in. The idea is to put as many walls between you and the outside as possible as this cluster of thunderstorms moves in. I want to see, looking at a couple of different of our camera network here as we watch that. And I've been watching thunderstorms not only make an approach on the Columbus area, but I've been watching these thunderstorms that have been up near the Akron area. And there's a lot of lightning going on in the Akron area right now. In fact, I do have a new tornado warning. New tornado warning just coming out now. This is going to be for, okay, we have multiple tornado warnings coming out. Medina and Wayne County now added to tornado warnings. So I have tornado warnings in northeastern Ohio, tornado warnings in central Ohio. The one in central Ohio is a continuation radar indicated tornado. That is, here's where the warnings are. Okay, so this is what I've got. New tornado warning out now for Medina and Wayne County until 8:45. Champaign and Union County tornado warning, that goes until 8:30. Southeastern tip of Logan County is in that. So those are the two areas that we are contending with numerous severe thunderstorm warnings from Mansfield all the way to the Ohio-Pennsylvania border. In fact, all the way up into Pennsylvania, even a tornado warning there east of Youngstown. So it's this line of thunderstorms that's pushing off to the southeast. I do want to go over and as I watch this one, I'll go over to the new tornado warning that we just got out. Looks like this is going to be north of the Worcester area, near Rittman, Creston, and Seville. That's where the latest warning is, and I'm going to pull up the information on this so that you can see it, and so I can see the information that they have sent out for us. And the National Weather Service issuing a tornado warning for southeastern Medina County, northeastern Wayne County until 8:45. National Weather Service indicates a development of a possible tornado near Creston, or about 8 miles south of Medina. It was moving to the southeast at 30 miles per hour. So on that track, it will move very close to or near Creston now, and then continue to track here to the east-southeast. Some of the areas being impacted: Wadsworth, Rittman, Doylestown, Creston, Seville, and Marshallville in the path of that cluster of thunderstorms as it pushes off to the east. I want to go over and look at the velocity on this cell again. We'll get you right back to the other cell in central Ohio. This is the newest tornado warning that we got out. So we are tracking multiple warnings going on right now, but we're going to track this one here. Just want to look at the velocity on this and see if we can see where they are detecting that potential tornado. Yeah, you can really see it here, and I'll circle this, and I'll bring this full screen so that you can see it as well. But again, we're looking at that red and green next to each other, and so right there, very close to Seville, and this is going to come in toward the Rittman area. So the Weather Service says this is moving to the southeast at 30 miles per hour. So with that, I'm going to keep that circled, and I'm going to put a storm track in here. I need to adjust the speed just a bit. It's sped up. This one is going a little bit faster than the one farther to the south, and we'll put the track on that one. And you can see Rittman in about 5 minutes, and then headed over toward Chippewa in about 14 minutes. Chippewa area in about 14 minutes on that particular thunderstorm. All right, so that's that tornado warning. Again, that tornado warning here for Wayne County and Medina County until 8:45. We'll go back farther to the southwest. We'll pick up our other tornado warning that we have. Let me clear all this out, and we'll zoom out here. And again, we're going to keep it on the velocity mode. The radar will automatically switch for me. And this one that was near Woodstock, this one is showing a little bit less of a look that would indicate rotation with that. In fact, let me slow this down a little bit. It's going really fast. Come over to the wall, and you can kind of see where this was as it was developing here just north of Woodstock. And you can see right there, and then we've kind of lost it. So hopefully some good news that this will weaken as it makes an approach on Marysville. I still think there's at least some broad rotation, but I don't see the tight circulation that we saw just a bit ago. I do want to look at it from another vantage point. I want to look at it from the different radar source. I'm going to look at it from the terminal Doppler out of Columbus. This one has weakened a bit. However, we're just getting information now, and the Weather Service is telling us right now that if you are in Delaware County, if you are in the western side of Delaware County right now, near Radnor, the city of Delaware, there is some significant wind approaching you right now. The radar is estimating wind speeds of approaching 80 miles per hour coming in near Magnetic Springs, just moved through Magnetic Springs, headed in toward Delaware. I'll take this full here for you, and I'll show you the radar. This is where it is. 85 mile per hour winds being detected on radar right now, and this is approaching. I'm going to see if I can put this in slow motion so you can kind of see how this is moving to the east-southeast here. Again, this is going to come in destructive winds according to that. In fact, they're telling us now to stand by. If you're in Delaware County, hunker down. If you're in Delaware, west side of Delaware, for the potential here of 85. In fact, that wind just increased a bit more. We've got a darker blue. Now you can see almost approaching 90 miles an hour. This is EF1 tornado strength. Take shelter. If you're in Delaware County, technically not under a tornado warning, this could be producing significant wind damage. I saw it drop here to 38 miles per hour. It's actually because it's in motion. I'm going to put it the latest frame, again, approaching 90 miles per hour. It's really right over 37 right now, which comes into Delaware. 36, looks like the worst just north of 36. And then let's see what that's crossing there. I believe that is, 257. 257 is where that, that is some very intense winds approaching 90 miles per hour coming into the western side of Delaware County. And just, looking at the motion of that, it looks like it may, the worst of the wind may clip the north side of the city of Delaware there. Let's see if we can zoom in, see if any other communities come in. But, it's going to come up the worst, moving right along. I believe that is 37, between 37 and it's going to cross 203 here fairly soon. Again, this is not a tornado, but this is the potential for 90 mile per hour winds. That is, of course, the strength of what would be an EF1 tornado, even though it's not a tornado. It's just damaging wind gusts. Look at that. Folks, that is some significant wind, and we're detecting that fairly low down in the atmosphere. Normally, when we look at the radar kind of shoots up off the ground a little bit, because the curvature of the Earth. So we're looking a little bit higher up in the storm there. So we see that type of wind a couple thousand feet up. But if it's 96 miles per hour, a couple thousand feet up, it's at least 85 miles per hour likely at the ground. So, again, if you are in Delaware, I just hunker down. Stay away from windows with this coming in. This is some of the most intense winds we have seen on radar tonight. And we saw an 81-mile-an-hour wind up in Fairport Harbor up near Cleveland. But this is stronger than that being indicated by radar right now. In fact, the Weather Service is now saying this is a destructive storm. They have issued the strongest possible severe thunderstorm warning, one of the strongest possible severe thunderstorm warnings, saying that this is a destructive severe thunderstorm coming into Delaware. Significant damage is likely. In fact, I'll read the exact language that is coming up from the National Weather Service. You'll see the warning pop up. National Weather Service says this destructive storm will move through western and central Delaware County. It will likely impact areas including Delaware, already moving near Powell, Sunbury, the Radnor area, Shawnee Hills area, Ostrander, Magnetic Springs. Weather Service says that the damage threat is for destructive capability with this storm to trees and to power lines. The hail threat, about 3/4-inch hail, not as significant with the hail, but definitely significant on the destructive winds. I have not forgot about the tornado warning. The only reason I'm not talking about it as much is because it does appear to me that, at least near Milford Center, that rotation has weakened. Still a heads up, if you're in Marysville and Milford Center, you still need to be in your shelter at this point. We do not have the all clear for this tornado warning. Doesn't look as significant as it did earlier. All right, we've got another tornado warning that we're going to cover. Again, if you're in Delaware, city of Delaware, anywhere around Delaware, you need to be in your storm shelter at this time. Just reading the information, it looks like the tornado warning in Union County, as we were just talking about, is going to be allowed to expire as that cell is weakening. All right, back over to Wayne County and Medina County. This tornado warning near the Rittman area. This one's still showing some pretty intense rotation with it at this moment in time. In fact, zoom in here just a little bit. I just want to try to see. Yeah, this is headed eastward toward Chippewa here for the next few minutes. It looks like trying to see what road this is. It looks like it's crossing over. It's going to come over near 57. It's up along 94 now. It's paralleling, I believe that's 94 that parallels it there between the Canaan area and then headed eastward south of Richmond. Again, I'll circle this, what we're seeing here. There's the rotation right there, and this is headed off this direction. So if you kind of look at the track of that, that's going to head down toward, eventually toward Maskelyne and over into the Tuscarawas County area here fairly soon. So again, that cell, the possibility there that one still has a tornado. We still see the rotation with that cell as it pushes off to the southeast. So a significant storm there, multiple storms occurring. Tornado warning continuing. In fact, they're saying that the tornado was located over Rittman now, or about 12 miles northeast of Worcester. It's moving to the southeast at 30 miles per hour. So let me get you an updated track on that. Let me clear my little arrows there. And I'll get you the latest information on the storm track. I believe I still have that programmed in here. Yes, I do. So we'll continue to go there. Moving southeast at 30, so the Chippewa area in about 8 minutes. Headed over toward Bogman in about 14 minutes, and then over in toward the Lawrence area. That's going to come up at about 22 minutes for the arrival time of that. And then, of course, that's going to head over into Stark County here in the next few minutes. Right now, by the way, Medina County has been dropped from the tornado warning, so we can take off Medina County. That storm has moved out of southern Medina County. It is now strictly in northeastern Wayne County at the moment. Also, we have had the expiration of the tornado warning, or will expire here in just about 6 minutes, the one in Union County, so that will drop off. However, the storm in Delaware, coming into Delaware right now, is still incredibly intense, particularly as you get up between Delaware and Radnor right now, where the most intense winds are. Now, earlier we saw the wind speed showing up over 90 miles per hour. I'm going to check the latest here. Still showing up to 87 miles per hour there on radar. And again, we're looking at this from fairly low down. Let me just see, make sure I'm looking at it from the right radar source. Yeah, looking at it from the terminal Doppler in Columbus, so we're not that far away. So that means the radar beam is hitting the storm fairly low down compared to some of the others. And so to detect that type of wind, where we're detecting it in the storm would indicate that at least that's potential is there farther to the south. You see it update to 58. It didn't just drop to 58. The storm just kind of moved out of the point that I had. Again, if I click back on it, you'll see that it is still fairly intense. In fact, it may have dropped a little bit. Yeah, still at 83 miles per hour. A little bit more consolidated area. By the way, this is crossing right now, about to cross 23. You go up north side of Delaware, headed up toward Waldo. It's, I guess, Delaware State Park is right around in that area. That's where this severe wind is right now, headed eastward. And it has come down a little bit from what we saw just a little bit ago. The Weather Service is still saying that this has the potential to produce considerable damage. They've dropped it from the destructive category to the considerable damage category. There is a difference with their qualifications there. It's slightly weaker, but still incredibly intense and still likely is going to cause some significant damage. 70-mile-an-hour winds is still EF1, EF0 tornado strength. So, all right, back over. We're kind of going back and forth from where our warnings are. We're going to kind of spread out the view here in just a moment. We're approaching the bottom of the hour. At the bottom of the hour, we are going to kind of expand. We're going to see what warnings that we have left. The tornado warning that we have west of Marysville in western Union County, that will expire here at the bottom of the hour. Weather Service is not looking to extend that. They are still watching that to see if it picks up any rotation. Now, the tornado warning that we're showing right here, which is north of Orrville in northeastern Wayne County, goes until 8:45. So that will go a bit longer. And again, I'm still looking at the rotation. You know, it's not as apparent as it was just a little bit ago, so we're hoping that that's a sign it's weakening. We still see rotation there. I don't want you to get where we're not. We're certainly still seeing some rotation. It just doesn't look as tightly wound as what we saw 10, 15 minutes ago when this was closer toward the Creston area and near Rittman. But still, it is continuing to track off to the southeast here about 30 miles per hour. Now, I want to back up because I want to go and show all of the warnings that we have out. Let's see if I have that map to pop up for you. Here we go. So here's a list of the warnings that we have out now, and this will populate here in just a second. Grabbing all the data here. Severe thunderstorm watch remaining in effect here from about I-70 northward. That's going to continue another couple of hours, at least until 11 o'clock in central and west central Ohio. Goes a bit longer in the northeast. Tornado warning that you see flashing there in Champaign and Union County, that will expire here at 8:30. Tornado warning in Wayne County will continue until 8:45. We've got multiple areas with severe thunderstorm warnings out. We've got severe thunderstorm warnings here in Knox and Morrow County. That stretches into southeastern Marion County, actually. And then numerous severe thunderstorm warnings, not only just Ashland and Wayne County surrounding that tornado warning, but we also got Stark County in there. We've got severe thunderstorm warnings over into Trumbull County and I believe, the northern edge of Mahoning County and Portage County. So we've seen things improve in Cleveland. We have got a lot of damage in Cleveland, in the Cleveland metro area from what we're being told. We're also being told, unfortunately, in Van Wert County, Ohio, that there may have been 2 people injured with this cluster of thunderstorms that came through there. And we're getting information that those injuries are fairly significant. So we're going to leave it at that. We're going to investigate that. But we believe a tree fell down on either a car or a home. I believe it was a home. And there was an entrapment, and then unfortunately, at least 1, maybe 2 people were significantly injured there. Severe thunderstorm warning now has been continues here in Franklin County. In fact, the Weather Service saying they're now going to extend that severe thunderstorm warning out for Franklin County. That's going to go. Let's go back over to the radar until 9:15, according to the National Weather Service. Let's zoom in and we'll get you caught up here on what we're talking about. Again, if you're in Columbus now and you're in Delaware, Delaware seeing some intense winds, especially on the north side, but now we're getting the cell that's coming into the Dublin area. The potential here for damaging winds, I still see I still see a little bit of rotation here. Very broad rotation. I don't see anything tight, but you can almost see kind of what looks to be a little bit of rotation there. So if you're in Dublin to Hilliard, anywhere in this area, want to stay away from windows. Stay in the interior part of the building that you're in, the home that you're in, because I can't rule this trying to re-intensify as this tracks southeast in toward the city. Again, this is coming in toward Upper Arlington, Worthington here fairly soon. You can see severe thunderstorm warnings about Galena up through, say, Ashland westward. The most intense wind just north side of Delaware there that we had at one point, 90-mile-an-hour winds were being indicated on radar. I don't know if that officially made it to the ground, but likely there's some significant damage, at least in the northwestern part of Delaware County. But this is going to continue to press south and east into the Columbus area here very, very soon. So if you're in that area, you definitely want to be on the lookout for these thunderstorms as they start to approach. We'll go back to where the tornado warning is. I just want to point out now we are at the bottom of the hour. You are watching expanded weather coverage here on Spectrum News 1. I want to break down what we have. We are covering, we have been covering multiple tornado warnings, but here at the bottom of the hour, we just had a tornado warning expire. That was in parts of Union County and parts of Champaign County. That has expired. We still have a tornado warning in northeastern Wayne County. That goes until 8:45, so we have a little less than 15 minutes to go from that. As you can see on radar, very active radar right now. Severe thunderstorm warnings are out for about the next half hour or more. Includes Akron, Canton to Youngstown, back down to Worcester. And then we pick up more warnings as you get into now Knox County, Morrow County, southeastern Marion County, Delaware, and Franklin County, including the Columbus Metro, back westward all the way to just north of London and south over toward Plain City. Dayton Metro area, the line toward you is a bit weaker. There's still some pretty intense thunderstorms coming in the north side toward Vandalia that has just moving through Miami County and even a cluster there in Darke County. Right now, the more intense cells are back farther to the east. We still have severe thunderstorm watch that's out in the area as well. And we're still following multiple camera angles. We've got cameras kind of scattered about the area. We've been watching all of these. And if you look at the top right-hand corner of your screen, that is downtown Akron. And it is flickering because that is a lot of lightning that is in Akron right now that is just flashing the sky. In fact, we were just looking at our lightning tracker here, and it's indicating about 1,500 lightning strikes in just the last 5-6 minutes. So the worst of the storm there near Akron, south or approaching the Akron area. Again, that tornado warning up in Wayne County. Cleveland, things are improving, calming down for you. Columbus, it's about to begin. If you're in Columbus, the storms are approaching from the west. Dayton, there are some thunderstorms approaching as well. The hope is that they'll be a little bit less than severe. Again, I mentioned the warnings, the one tornado warning that we have here now until 8:45 in Wayne County. Just reading some other information now. It looks like a new severe thunderstorm warning coming out for Delaware and Licking County. That's going to go until 9:15. For the potential for 70-mile-per-hour winds now, according to radar. And we'll zoom in and get you caught up here to what we're seeing here a little bit farther into central Ohio. Again, pretty good cluster of thunderstorms coming into Columbus. What I want to do is I want to stop the radar loop, and we're going to look at the velocity because a little while ago in the northern part of Delaware County, just before we hit at the bottom of the hour, radar indicated wind gusts up near 90 miles per hour in the northwestern part of Delaware County. I think the winds have calmed down from that significantly. And I'm just changing my radar source here. I'm looking at it from Wilmington. I want to look at it from the terminal Doppler in Columbus. Still, you see the bright blue showing up here between Ashley and Delaware. Right now, that's where our most intense winds are. And I want to put this into motion. We'll see if we can get this. Yeah. It's a little bit longer loop than I wanted. But this is moving almost due east. It looks like it's going to move between Marengo and Sunbury over towards Centerburg. Radar indicating here winds at probably close to 65 miles per hour. Let's see if we can get the updated wind speed on this. Wow, still detecting up near 70-mile-per-hour winds. And that's what the Weather Service is telling us as well. 70-mile-per-hour winds still being detected by radar here in just northeast side of Delaware, coming in toward Ashley. fact, let's see if I can zoom in a little bit more on this. Looks like this is coming up between 42, right over 521. This is going to cross I-71 north of the 36-37 exit, if you know where that is. I believe the Tanger Outlets Mall is just north of that rest area there. As you get up northeastern Delaware County, before you get to the Peru area, you may remember Peru got hit a couple of months ago by some very, very strong tornadoes. Now, south of Ashley, between Ashley and Delaware, that is where we have some pretty intense winds, and radar indicating here the potential for 70-mile-per-hour winds moving through Delaware County. And even back here toward south of Delaware, you get over toward west of Lewis Center, north of Powell. Let's see what the winds are doing here, because it still looks pretty intense. We're still detecting up to 60-mile-per-hour winds, and that's crossing where 42 meets up with 315, so just south side of Delaware there. And that's going to move close to where 315, Highway 315, comes up to 23 and meets 23 there. So, and south side of Delaware, 55 to 60-mile-an-hour winds being detected. This is going to come over toward Lewis Center, eventually toward Berlin Township, probably over toward Genoa Township, the Galena area. But again, a little bit stronger wind up here just east of Delaware now in the northeastern part of the county. That's going to move just north of Sunbury, between Sunbury and Marengo here over the next few minutes. So also here near Plain City, we'll get you caught up on the wind speeds here just west of Plain City. I'll scan that. Radar indicating around 50-mile-an-hour winds coming in toward Plain City. So we have seen that up a little bit higher. Could see that come up closer to 60 miles per hour. And then going to leave central Ohio for a moment. Let's go back to where our tornado warning is, and that is here near the Rittman area. And, you know, I will say that this cell does not have the rotation with it that we saw a little earlier. I just want to see. Let me look at the last. I want to look at the last 30 minutes here. We'll put that very slow loop so we can kind of see how this has been progressing. So I'll show you here. We picked up this tornado. Radar indicated it here near Rittman about 15, 20 minutes ago. And since then, you can kind of see where that red and that green was. It would be located right here now, just northeast of Orrville, between Orrville and Lawrence. That's where that rotation is still showing up a little bit. The other thing, it's getting a little bit farther away from the radar site, which is out of Cleveland in this case. And so we don't have as great a visibility here as what we had when it was a little bit closer to the radar site. So we'll see what the Weather Service decides to do with this. Of course, this is going to head over toward Lawrence and actually head into a different coverage zone. In other words, National Weather Service in Cleveland issues all the warnings down through Worcester. You get over toward Tuscarawas County, and that's where the National Weather Service in Cleveland issues. So we'll see if the Weather Services agree on issuing that to the east.